Alright, I'm going to be doing a review on 3 different things. I've got Drought Tape from Zonawood Deck, and Blistered Trucks. I'm going to start with this tape. So at first glance, I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to like it, but I'm definitely going to try it. And I'm glad I did. It's really good. I'm really used to using cheat sheets from monorails. It's honestly my favorite tape. And if you can see, like, it kind of just looks like I have regular grip on a board. What's more important for me is actually feeling my board when I'm like doing stuff. So like grip like this is like my favorite, it's my go-to. And I didn't think I was gonna like this, but I do. It feels like it's just cushiony, and I didn't think it was gonna be, because it feels kind of just like smooth, brand new. So I was kind of worried that I wasn't gonna have that grip. I was gonna have to like really wear it in before I started to understand how I'm using the tape. But turns out, even with it not feeling worn in, what you're able to do on it feels like tape that's worn in, if that makes sense. I really like it. I think this might be the 1mm. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're going to come in 0.8 and 1mm when they do release. And I definitely recommend getting some. It's really good. Like, it just, you don't have to wear it in. It just feels great. It's good stuff. I'm going to move on to the deck now. So, Zonawood Deck. I got the prickly mold, which I believe to be like the more aggressive, higher kick kind of thing. 36mm Fight Me exotic plies. I like a bigger board because it just feels better to me. That's what I prefer. I have other smaller ones and they're fun, but when I'm fingerboarding, I just like using what I like, you know. So 36mm is my go-to. Higher kicks are my thing. I like it. This is a deck that Salty Fing has made me. Great dude. Blessed me with one of these, and it's been my go-to. Also, like 36mm, high kicks. This one is a bit mellower, if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, this one definitely you can see. It's just like boop. But I knew I was gonna like it as soon as I saw it. I didn't even see the nose and tail. I just saw this in the box, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll take that. But another thing that I do really like about this board is, so I don't know if you guys remember, I used to be on Grimy Fingerboards, and Cody used to make his decks kind of boxy. And this is pretty boxy. It kind of goes up and then starts to go around, you know, up and then around. And short tail, it's just so comfortable on a short tail. Like when you're sometimes you'll like say you land some kind of trick, whatever, and then you're immediately have to do something else. It's nice when you have a short tail, because it kind of makes your brain, it kind of forces your brain to figure out how to do the next thing quicker. And I'm not sure if that is a thing for anybody else, but in my brain it makes sense. But yeah, this deck is sick. I'm gonna try to show you the plies here. Let's see. So I've got this, like, I don't know what kind of wood this is. If this is like bird's eye, maple, or some kind of burl thing. It's been a while since I've really looked into veneer. It's been a very long time, actually, since I've made boards. But it's that, and then this kind of like orangey kind of ply, and then a turquoise kind of thing, a grayish blue, and then the top exotic ply. It's really solid. I probably shouldn't be bending fingerboards, but it's strong. It's made very well. It's sanded pretty much perfectly. All the holes were great. The craftsmanship is awesome. I have zero negative things to say about this board. This is like, the way this deck is honestly the most ideal kind of fingerboard for me. Like, this is my favorite fingerboard of probably all time. It's made by a friend that I've known for a long time. I finally got to meet, and he gifted me one of these. This is my favorite fingerboard. But this right here is like, it's sick. It's awesome. I'm glad I have it. I already know this is going to be a new favorite. This is day one, and I'm kind of having that, like, because I'm a one fingerboard kind of guy, so I'm kind of having that, like, dilemma of, I really want to keep using this one, but now I have this one kind of thing. I think I'm just going to use this one inside and keep shredding this one because it's got so much life left in it, and it's sick. So this might just be my inside guy, but this honestly is like an ideal deck shape, size, everything. Just like, look at that. I can feel my tricks being done, like on those heel flips. I can feel my finger flicking that part of the nose. Switch heel, same thing. Like, it's perfect. It's perfect for how I fingerboard, for what I enjoy doing on a fingerboard. A deck like this is sick. I really like it. 10 out of 10, to be honest. The only downside, and it's not a downside for me, but it might be for other people, is there were no kingpin holes screwed into this. I don't care. I didn't need them. But I know that's other people might want them or whatever, but that was the only thing. But it's not a problem for me. This deck is 10 out of 10 for me. I love it. It's super sick. I'm really glad that when I was at the DIY a few days ago, Mike M Squared mentioned that he had decks on him, and I got to check him out and get one. Super, just... And another thing that I did notice, and I don't know if anyone else has this thing, but sometimes when I'm using a fingerboard, I can't always use the nose and or the tail for like a specific thing. I gotta like switch it over and then do a thing. Like, I have to like do a bit more work to get where I want to be. But on this one, the nose and tail are so perfect that I can literally do whatever trick I want on whichever way on the board, which is nothing better than being able to do what you want when you want, you know? So yeah, like I said, 10 out of 10 board. The tape is sick, and that's that on the Zonawood stuff. Like, Zonawood is fucking great. So now I'm going to move on to the Blistered Trucks. So I had, I think, just one problem with them, which was I was trying to get these wheels on, but I would screw them down all the way, and then I'd realize that I can't spin them, and I was like, what the fuck? So I tried a different wheel. I put my peaks on. I put my peak wheels on here. Same thing, they wouldn't spin. I put my ill pills on, those spun, but I was like, I'm keeping the ill pills on the other deck because that's like the outside. I've been thrashing it, and I want to put thrashed wheels on a new board, and these are pretty clean still, even though I've had them for so long. So I realized, I went and I grabbed these other lock nuts that I had, and I compared them to the ones that came on these trucks, and the ones that came on these trucks were slightly longer. So what ended up happening was that when I would screw the nut onto the hanger, it ended up just pushing the bearing and just locking the wheel up so it wouldn't spin. But when I changed out the nut and used the other one, now I got the spin. So like, I don't know. That's one thing that I didn't hear from anybody when they were telling me about these trucks, of anyone having that problem. But I had other nuts, so it ended up not being an issue, really. They work fine. It's just, I guess now I have extra lock nuts for other stuff. So details on these trucks, I guess they were meant to be used with either with one of two ways. They were meant to be used with inverted kingpins like I have here, where the kingpin just goes straight down. It goes bushing, hanger, bushing, and then into the base plate. Or you can use them with the standard screw and a lock nut, which is up here. So you would take the lock nut off, you would put them through the bottom of the base plate going up, then you would put your bushing, hanger, bushing, and then you would put your lock nut. And the only issue with that, and it's just more of an issue about it just being tedious, is that you would have to remove your truck and then I guess use two tools to tighten or loosen up your truck when you're using the standard. But it is a cool option to be able to switch between the two. I think that's kind of, I guess, an innovative thing depending on how you want, I guess, like your grinds to feel or your trucks to look or whatever the case may be. But I thought that was pretty cool. I'm using inverted. It's easy. The kingpins stay out of the way of the hanger, which is really important. I found myself it's just really smooth. I'm not locking up on anything as compared to these trucks, where as you can see, like, the kingpin is actually above my hanger. But also, this is a Tech Deck base plate because within a week I stripped the base plate on the other one. But yeah, these trucks, super sick. Everything is sleek. The bushings that came on them are really soft, and I mostly ride like kind of medium-ish, and these obviously they're kind of, you know, turned pretty down, but still pretty loosey-goosey, you know. But I'm used to level up bushings, which are, I guess, a bit harder and good for like how I like to ride. But these work just as good. It's kind of cool to have a kind of a whole new setup where it's things that I'm not used to, like thicker tape, these soft bushings, you know, like they also these trucks sit really low. Maybe you can tell. I'll put this over here so you can kind of see more. They sit pretty low in comparison to, I guess, you can see like those are definitely higher. I don't have Dynamics or Black River trucks because they're all broken. But I did notice one thing that I thought was pretty cool about these trucks. Where the top bushing sits up here, there's kind of more space for it to actually sink in and like live somewhere, as compared to, and shoot me in the face if anything has changed in the past 6 to 7 years about Dynamic or Black River trucks. But my main issue with them and the way that I like to ride my fingerboards with the with tightness or whatever is there was never enough room up in here for a bushing to like really sit and live in there without it like end up starting to squish out and rip. As you can see, like these are Black River hangers and there's not really much room there. It's kind of flat. These are Dynamics. As you can see, like that's pretty flat up there. So when I was putting these trucks together, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. They actually do sit in there comfortably. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have bushing problems anymore because like that works. Like if you can see like problems like this where you can't really see, but bushings are just starting to, these are level ups, but they're starting to just like squish out, you know. And they're tight, but they're not very like, it's not like they're like solid, you know. Like I can still like move them, but yeah, I noticed that about these trucks, and I was like, that's awesome. As well as them being low is honestly really comfortable. I like that a lot. I did also notice that in the pivot area where the pivot cup sits, I was popping a trick, like one of the first tricks, and I was like, whoa, like kind of have like a little bit of like a bounce. And then I flipped it over, started pushing down, and it almost like is kind of like hydraulic in a way, if that makes sense. But these trucks are really comfortable. They feel nice. They look nice. They were a great deal. 2 for the price of 1. I'm not mad with the money I spent on these. It was like what, 35, 40 bucks or something for a set of 2, or for per set, but I got the free set, whatever. But yeah, Blistered Trucks, super sick. I enjoy them. Drought Tape's really good. Zonawood Deck. I don't know what else to say. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, you want to do a fingerboard trick? Okay, go ahead. It's a great deck. Great setup. Very happy. So yeah, once again, get yourself a Zonawood deck. For real. Drought Tape, when that comes out, definitely pick it up. Trust me. Blistered Trucks. That's it.